All right, Shalom Israel. Real quick, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Akakwadash, to allow me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there's no God beside them. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. All right, so today's lesson probably going to be, Lord willing, no more than 15 minutes. You know, because I got to get back. But anyway, I wanted to show you brothers some information I found on how we know America is spiritual Rome. So this is Revelation 1, and I want to read down to maybe this, let's see. Verse 4, right. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, right? So this is John the Revelator speaking on a vision he had when he was on the island of Patmos. And I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. So the vision he had, he literally, in his vision, saw a beast come out of the sea. However, we know that the scriptures is precept upon precept. So when you go to Revelation 17 and 16, which we'll grab real quick. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. 16, Salakia. 15, okay. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, so now we go back to Revelation 13. And I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Right, so out of these nations, all right, rose up one great nation. Out of these many nations rose up one great nation, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. So this beast ultimately today represents NATO and the EU, the European Union. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now, as you see, we broke down what the sea was. It was an actual sea, as he saw in his vision. And it represents people, Salakia. Then you have 7 heads, which is Rome, France, Britain, Spain, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and Greece. Then you have Luxembourg, which is, the 10 horns, Luxembourg, Belgium, France, Italy, Denmark, Greece, Netherlands, Ireland, England, and West Germany. That's how it originally started. However, today you have more than 28 nations. And the beast which I saw, as a matter of fact, when you look it up, was that the EU Right, it says the Treaty of Rome is the founding treaty of the European Union. It was signed in Rome on March 25th, 1957 by the 6 founding members of the European Economic Community and became into force January 1st, 1958. Right, so another piece of good information as we dive into who is the beast and how, again, we know that Rome plays a big part where in America is Rome today, spiritual Rome today. All right, why would they call it the Treaty of Rome? All right, it all goes back to the scriptures. It says, I'll read it once more. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, and back in the ancient times, when actually Rome was in power, you had something known as vassal states. All right, those vassal states back then would have been known today as NATO and the EU. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. All right, so this is a dark saying, pretty much getting more into detail, all right, on the origins of this beast. And the dragon gave him his power, Salakia. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Now you see it says the leopard is the Grecian, Daniel 7:6, which is the first Edomite rulership, and the bear is Russia, which will take him out. The dragon is Rome. Mouth like a lion is Britain. Just look up the coats of arms. Right, Britain's coats of arms is the lions. The dragon gave the beast his power, just like various nations received power through Rome. NATO received power from America. Roman Empire had great power, Daniel 7:19. Right? And again, this is a quick hit, so you brothers could check these precepts out yourself. As a matter of fact, let's grab that Daniel 7. It says, "Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet." And with that, actually, before we keep going, so reading again, actually, the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, which is the Grecians. Esau came into power through the Greeks, and his feet were as the feet, or as the Greeks rather, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. You know how it was explained to me when I was learning this breakdown. It's almost like looking at somebody from head to toe. When you finish looking at them, you're looking at their toes. So what's going to take this place out is the bear, which is Russia. We all know, or you should know, all right, that Russia is known as the bear, and his mouth is as the mouth of a lion. Again, the lion represents Britain. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right? So he really became somebody through Rome. Alright, see, I got some good information I found. Now it says, look up cultural depiction of bears on Wikipedia. Bears, like other animals, may symbolize nations. The Eurasian brown bear has been used to personify Russia since the early 19th century. In 1911, the British satirical magazine, if I could add as a side note, this shows you that we are in a time of information. Right? These prophecies are very clear at this point in time. Remember, the Lord told Daniel to go into the time of the end, where knowledge shall be increased. So it says in 1911, the British satirical magazine Punch published a cartoon about the Anglo-Russian entity by Leonard Ravenhill, in which the British lion watches as the Russian bear sits on the tail of the Persian cat. The Russian bear has been a common national personification for Russia from the 16th century onward. Smokey Bear has become a part of American culture. That was pretty much the point, right? And again, you could look this up on your own and just type in depiction of bears on Google. Cultural depiction of bears. All right. And now we're going to go back to gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads wounded, And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So remember, one of the heads, remember what were the heads? All right, when we go back to verse 1, the heads were of Rome, France, Britain, Spain, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and Greece. Now Rome was wounded during the time of the Holy Roman Empire. It was wounded for 1,000 years. You can find that in the book of Revelations, the 1st chapter. And his daily wound was healed. All right. He was given life again. And all the world wondered after the beast. Now, with that being said, you could look up, you look up Rome, Maryland. Now look at this. It says, there are a few connections between Maryland and Rome, including academic programs and the influence of Rome on Washington, D.C. Now we go down, right? It says, the founding fathers were influenced by classical, especially Roman, systems of government and law. The architecture, sculpture, and painted interiors of Washington, D.C. were inspired by ancient Rome and Athens. There you go. Right? Which the Romans were inspired by the Greeks, two of the same people. Or they're one and the same, rather. All right? Both Edomites. And then, when you look more into it, right, this is from a site called Ghost of DC. It says, this is published actually, 10 years ago. Washington was originally named Rome, Maryland. It says, discovered the unique history of Rome and Maryland and its influence on Washington, D.C., from Francis Pope's estate to Tiber Greek's origin. Now it says, nestled in Washington, D.C., history is a surprising connection to a little-known place, Rome in Maryland. This discovery offers a unique glimpse into America's past. Rome in America, a 17th century vision. In the 17th century, a vast estate of 400 acres existed southeast of what is now Georgetown in Maryland. Owned by an Italian cultural enthusiast, this land was ambitiously named Rome, right? Because as you know, Rome is the capital of Italy. The owner's passion for Italy didn't just influence the name, it shaped his vision for the New World. This estate was more than land, it was a symbol of aspiration and connection to an ancient civilizations. Transitioning from European inspiration to American reality, the landowner renamed Goose Creek to Tiber Creek. This act mirrored Rome's iconic river Tiber, creating a symbolic link across continents. His vision was to merge the grandeur of ancient Rome with the budding potential of America. So this is a decent read. I mean, let me see. I guess we could breathe through for a little bit. Like I said, I gotta head out real soon, but if anything, I'll just put it on the comment section for you brothers to check out. Now it says, a modern twist, the coincidence of Pope Francis. Adding to the narrative's richness is the modern coincidence of Pope Francis, the first American pope sharing a name with Pope Francis. This unexpected twist in the story connects the historical and contemporary worlds. Wait, did I skip a part? Yeah, this is actually a really good part. Damn, I skipped the good parts a lot here. Because Francis Pope, the mastermind behind Rome, Maryland. The visionary behind this American Rome was Francis Pope, who acquired the land of June 5th, 1663. His story detailed in an October 7th, 1883 Washington Post article reflects a blend of ambition and whimsy. Pope took pride in his estate, often boasting about his Rome on the Tiber. His unique naming scheme wasn't just a personal quirk, it was a statement of cultural identity and historical awareness. Right? So that's all we need to know. And what's the capital of America? I mean, we all should know is Washington, D.C. Right? No coincidence there, as again, the Lord has spoken it. Like the scriptures say, everything that the Lord speaks shall come to pass. All right, so that's just something quick in the spirit. Let me see something. And one thing else I wanted to note, because when you go into a point where it says and all the world wondered after the beast. So the beast, right, verse 3, Salakia, and I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with the beast? So as we read, we see that one head of that dragon, as I mentioned before, essentially became more powerful than the other parts of the body. All right, and again, as we brought out, that was Rome. And just to look it up, well, I looked it up already. It says, I put in who is the strongest nation in NATO, where it says the United States is considered the strongest nation in NATO due to its military and financial resources. So there you go. So that's just something quick in the spirit. With that, shalom to the elect.